Ohio State 26-6 on the season following a first-round victory against Montana State and the Bobcats by 20 points. And here they are after suffering a tough Big Ten tournament loss by 29 points to UCLA against a team they played last season in Tennessee. They beat them by 20 points on the road all the way down in Knoxville. And that was a different regime, though. Kelly Harper, the head coach then. Now it's Kim Caldwell, and a very different system here with this Volunteers team, one of the highest scoring teams in the nation, 87 points per game.
New faces, but that pedigree is still very much the same on this team, and both of these squads riddled with depth and talent among them.
Cambridge bounces it up to Theory. She falls down, and a foul on the floor, or a turnover as they attempted to break that full court press. Taylor Theory just tripped and lost that basketball, and now Ruby Whitehorn inbounds over to Kanaya Boyd. Boyd has it up high, right-handed dribble, fires to the right elbow. Left corner three in there, Jules Spear. And this lead just keeps growing, 51 to 37.
Yeah, you can't leave her open. Number 30 nationally in three-pointers per game. She has over 70 this season. That's what she's built for. That was the moment that she was waiting for.
Cambridge gets to the free throw line, stop and pop, rolls out of the rim into the hands of Spear. Taking it up the court, she's the point guard right now. 7 points for Spear tonight is fouled by Cambridge, and the problems just continue for Ohio State.
Yeah, and now you've got Jelani Cambridge sitting with 3 fouls in this game. You already had Asia Petty come into this half with 3 fouls as well. Depth certainly being looked at on this Ohio State squad as Petty checks out, Ebony Walker comes in. There's questions about Elsa Lemula's availability after she's coming off of an injury last game. This Ohio State team is gonna really need to dig deep to get their feet back in this one.
Tennessee with possession. Bounce inside to Hollingshed, a full hockey substitution for the Vols. Brings it back out for Cooper. Gets a screen from Hollingshed. Behind the back dribble to the free throw line. Stops, spins, kicks outside for Spencer. 3 ball in there again. Samara Spencer for 3 from the left wing. Here comes Cambridge. It's a 17-point game now. Kick to the right for Green. Right back to Cambridge. Cambridge drives, kicks, right corner triple for Green. Splash. 54 to 40. Now it's Cooper. Up the middle across the timeline all the way to the bucket. Tried to bounce it over to Hollingshed. And it looks like they're going to call that out on Talasia Cooper.
Well, Ohio State now facing what was a 14-0 run, seeming to have a little life back, only down 14.
Cambridge coast to coast for the scoop layup, cut through that whole defense. Now it's a 12-point game, 54 to 42, 6:20 to go in the third. Talasia Cooper throws it up high for her big. Latham back to Cooper, operating up top, bounces it over to Spencer. Spencer gets a screen from Hollingshed, double teamed, and loses it out of bounds. It's tipped by Madison Green on the high pressure. Another hockey substitution. 5 in, 5 out for the Vols.
Yep, think of them as lines for this team. They just have 2 cores that they like to go back and forth between the 2 of them. Each have their own strengths and weaknesses, and constantly giving Ohio State new looks to work against.
Boyd over to Spearman. She's up top. Hands off for Spear. Jules Spear driving left. Shot clock goes to 0 into violation for Tennessee. Ohio State's defense suffocating.
And Ohio State really thriving on this crowd right now. They're starting to get back into this one. They seem to have weathered the storm, and now it's all about the reaction post.
Madison Green crossed midcourt, got bumped out of bounds by Ruby Whitehorn. Second on the game for Whitehorn, 13th team foul for Tennessee. Inbound out the sideline, thrown to Cambridge. Cambridge in a hurry, across the three-point line, behind the back cross, and hits the shot from the right elbow.
And that was a mean move, shaking her defender.
And then the Buckeyes force a turnover in the backcourt. Cody McMahon mean-mugging the camera after she poked that one out of bounds off a volunteer. Ohio State gets the ball back, and a 7-0 run for Ohio State. Madison Green, the baseline out of bounds. On our side of the court. And throws in for Walker. It looked like there was a hook on Boyd. She was trying to have some words with one of the referees. Spearman strays her away from the contact with the referee. Here comes Cooper back in the game for Boyd. She's got 3 fouls in 7 minutes.
Yeah, and JC got a little roughed up, taking a little beating, but getting the call nonetheless.
Walker turns it over to Cooper, taking it away as soon as she got in the game. Catch and shoot 3 for Spear, misses off back iron. Tough rebound for Walker. Skies and gets fouled on the way down by Talasia Cooper. And more fanfare from this OSU crowd as they start to turn this game back in their favor, Matt.
Connor, new faces in this rivalry, but this feels none other than like a rivalry renewed right now in this stadium. Not only are the fans really starting to get into it, but the players getting physical, chippy. Each team right now is trying to stamp their physical mark on this game, and it's going to be interesting to see how these next 5 minutes play.
Jelani Cambridge swings right side for Green. She's in the corner, driving to the bucket, stops under the basket against Puckett. Kick all the way outside, Cambridge, 3, bottom! 54-47, Ohio State within 7. Cooper brings it across, bounces over to Spencer. Right corner, wide open, 3, Spearman, rims out. McMahon, a rebound, kicks ahead for Cambridge. Had a steam left-handed dribble, Cooper behind her, lefty layup. Scoop and good, and all of a sudden it's a 5-point game, and Kim Caldwell needs timeout with 4:54 to go in the third.
Speaking of Caldwell, she is fired up on that Volunteers sideline right now, not happy with Jelani Cambridge blowing by the defense on the transition play, led by Cody McMahon on the break. Ohio State is feeding off this momentum right now, and they fought right back with a 12-0 run to be right back into striking distance in this one.
Hit 5 of their last 5 shots. Ohio State forced 3 turnovers in the last 2 minutes, and Tennessee hasn't scored in the last 2 minutes. So it's a Buckeye surge forcing that Kim Caldwell timeout. 54-49. Tennessee still leads, but Ohio State cutting it close with 4 minutes and 54 seconds to go. And quarter number 3 will be right back after this timeout here on Scarlet and Gray Sports Radio.